Both Sides of the Blade, which I don't want to spend too much time on because I don't feel that Claire spent too much time on it either. It's very much the lockdown film of Claire Denis.
It's the I made a thing of Claire Denis' career.
The legend.
I wrote a thing.
The legend, let us not forget the legend of French cinema. Claire Denis made a film in about 2020, 2021.
About 20 minutes.
Juliette Binoche and Grégoire Collin and Vincent Landon. It is a film about infidelity, very French infidelity, very predictable French infidelity. And it's filmed in quite a low-rent fashion, quite a conventional fashion, but people wearing masks and following the COVID guidance. It feels like it's made very much in a window, almost soap opera-like, with some, in my opinion, fairly compelling performances, at least from legends of French acting. George didn't agree quite so much, but ultimately a bland film with not really much to remember. George, you booed it at the Berlinale. Do you remember?
Shh, don't dox me. Come on. It could have been anyone.
Do you remember why?
Yeah. Of course I do. I mean, but I don't want to over-determine or overburden perception of it, because the thing is, I immediately tried to blot out just what a disappointment this film had been. I'd come off a Denis binge and was in a state of great anticipation, which probably coloured my perception of it. But like you say, blandness on blandness.
Both sides of the bland.
Both sides of the bland. Yeah, the bland and the blander. Bland on bland. Yeah.
Vincent Landon.
Very good.
You just got there in time.
Picked up the mic to say that.
Yeah. No, it just I felt the kind of grave disservice of a legend having the permission to present whatever tribe.
Substandard work.
And substandard work presented, guaranteeing a certain kind of veneration from your audience. And I just felt like, had this been served up cold as it was by any, let's say, not even debut, maybe a sophomore director, the booze would have been not just me.
Yeah.
Because I found there was such an extreme phoniness, insubstantiality to the plot. Why on earth we should have actually cared about this combination of people? I really hate that as a critique usually, but in this instance I felt it really very strongly. I felt like
it was an aspect that it was quite hard.
You're right. I say, why should I care about the Stephen Dedalus character?
One aspect of it that it was quite hard to pin down was the fact that a huge amount of the plot detail emerges slowly or is never fully revealed. The relationship between Juliette Binoche's character and François, the Landon character, and why their communication is sort of controversial, what it is that François does with Binoche's husband, played by Collin. These things are sort of slowly not revealed in a way that leads you to believe some kind of great in the form of the reveal in Sundown, which we'll talk about later, leading you to find some great kind of conflict that will lead to a revelation.
You start to suspect,
and that doesn't happen. All that happens is a very boring argument between a cuckolded man.
And in fact, that moment of melodrama, the Great Eruption, to me was just the most unwatchable sequence. At that moment I considered leaving, but then I remembered I had to stay to boo it because I was so averse to everything that I understood Denis' filmmaking to be about was here somehow betrayed in the most
what are those
control,
things?
Composure, lucidity, an understanding of where the film is heading out from its outset, at least in the director's mind. I had a feeling of a kind of a slightly improvisational quality, which was like completely averse to what I think makes her film so great. Also, it looked like shit. Like,
genuinely.
Compared to if you compare it to Agnes Gerard's work,
Is she the cinematographer on this? No. Okay, so there's partly a departure from a regular collaborator.
Also sounded very bad, and I really rate the Tinderstick soundtracks of most of her films, at least.
This was very melodramatic, and
So that was a double disappointment, and then the story itself was just
Tindersticks worked on this, right?
yeah, but it was somehow
Bad.
They turned out very well for certain other films with this.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
I can't really conjure up
Trouble Every Day is
more of the
It's listed as an erotic thriller, which is very strange. There are very brief moments that could be considered erotic, and the thrill is kind of artificially inseminated, really. There are sort of these weird cutaways to contemporary events, discussions of racism on the radio, because the main character is a radio, sort of LBC style radio presenter, but nothing has that kind of beautiful background coherence that a good Denis film would have.